Hi, I'm Nivix and today I will show you how I made a board game almost completely from scratch. It all started with Reddit, yeah, Reddit. Somehow the algorithm decided to show me a subreddit about Axis and Allies, which is a World War II strategy board game. I've never played a proper World War II grand strategy board game, so I wanted to buy it, but I couldn't find a good deal. So I decided that if I can't have it, I will just make my own completely new board game. You might be wondering how I started making this game. And, if I remember it correctly, it actually started during some lesson, when I began sketching units and giving them statistics. I know it probably doesn't sound like the best start for a game, because you should probably start with core mechanics and other stuff like this, not with units, but it worked out pretty well. In fact, I had to remove a lot of units or basically remade the stats for them, but it still turned out to be pretty good, and it also created the asymmetry for the countries in the game from the very beginning, because each country has units that are specific in a way. For example, United Kingdom doesn't have good anti-armor weapons, however they have plenty of units that are pretty nice in fighting infantry. Also, as for the units, they distinguish three main types of damage or attack, as you call it. The soft attack, which is against soft targets such as humans, enemy infantry, light ships, light airplanes and stuff like this. There is hard attack, which is basically anti-armor thingy, and if you have a hard HP, it means that your vehicle or whatever it is armored. And also there is precise attack, that basically works well for both soft and hard targets, but it's harder to achieve something with that because there are smaller odds of actually hitting something with your precise attack. You might be wondering, what is this game actually about? And I'm gonna tell you. It's a World War II grand strategy board game in which you take control of either entire faction or one of the 5 countries. The factions are of course Axis and Allies, and if you want to play as a single country or maybe take control of 2 countries because you've got more players to play with, you can choose from USSR, USA, UK, German Reich or Italy. Each country has its unique set of units, it starts in a different situation, and the game is very asymmetrical, which makes it even more interesting. The game also implements a very good and I think innovative combat system, which makes the game way more interesting. It has, I think, that somewhat realistic production system that is also immersive and easy to follow. It's got a, I think, nice map, good research and mission system, especially since the V3 prototype that is currently being made. From other changes that I made, I also created a new map which was way better. It has bigger tiles, it has better looks, it reduces the playtime, and not only that, because it also makes it easier to see what's going on it. Not only that, because in the V2 prototype there was a new production system. A new production system that changed a lot, because while in the old one you would buy units for money, which was inconvenient because each and every time you produced something you had to think what exact units to buy. Now you just choose what factories to build and later look what do they produce. It's very easy to follow, it reduces the time to conduct the production phase, and also it is more realistic and immersive. Now you can conduct bombing raids on those factories, you have to think about taking care of them so you don't lose it in a stupid way. It's a way better system than it used to be. This system is so good, in fact, that I'm gonna keep it to the V3 prototype. From other additions, I also implemented trade routes, which allow players in between faction to move units around continents or countries. It's quite important because it gives a new goal and importance to Navy. Now the Axis may want to try to block USA from sending help to UK, USA or maybe Africa, and Allies have to really take care of it, because without the help from the USA, it might be pretty tough to win the war. I also created a mission system that basically improved the game, made it more unpredictable. However, those missions were quite unbalanced and irritating in a way. So in the V3 prototype they are getting reworked, and the new system, which you can actually look up in the dev blog, is way better. It makes it take less time to conduct those missions. It is also, I think, that even more unpredictable, which is interesting, and from other pros, it takes less time. The game also requires a lot of strategic and tactical thinking. It has quite a deep mechanics that connect with each other. There is a deep layer of planning because things can change. You don't know what your opponents are planning, what missions they are about to conduct, and what secret technologies did they develop. You have to decide what type of army to create, what doctrines to choose, what missions and technology focus on, and also you have to coordinate with your allies, which may be pretty important. Aside from that, there is also a Wargoals system, which basically makes the game more interesting, because it's not about taking cities, winning territory, no. The game is about completing a specific goal that you basically draw at the beginning of the game, and you keep it secret from your enemies, and in the semi-co-op mode even from your allies. Another very important aspect of this game is its combat system. It's great. It combines asymmetry between countries, it combines battle board on which you have to conduct decisions during battle. It also combines both air and land and navy battles on one battle board, which is very convenient. It also isn't just rolling dice and distributing damage, because you have to decide what units to target. There are 3 damage types. There are also torpedoes in naval battles, there are technology cards that make the battles even more unpredictable, and there are tactics that can change the whole battle. It also makes it so there is a mind game during the opening moves of the battle, because players try to counter each other's tactics. You have to think what your enemy wants to play, you also need to think what would benefit your army the most, and it makes the battle system way more interesting. Also, the combat system is almost the same for both land battles and naval battles, and not only that, because it's actually almost the same in the air battles, so it's easy to understand, it's easy to remember, and also, if you look at the units, they have very clear stats. You don't have to read the whole book of statistics, of like rules for battle, you just look up the stats, you choose your tactic, maybe you choose the technology, because in V3 prototype the technology was reworked and now it's used during battles, but more about that in the future. Currently, I'm also working on a V3 prototype. It has some very nice improvements from the V2 prototype that include new map, new and redesigned mission and research systems, and also a desperation mechanic that is basically supposed to help players not lose, because it works basically in a way that if you lose too much terrain, too much of your homeland, your scientists become more desperate, which means that they will develop more technologies or enable you to conduct more missions, which will slightly equalize the chances for you actually regaining the power to win the game. Also, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. It may help me to spread the information about this board game, and remember, gathering a strong community around this game may and probably will help me to release this game. So please like and subscribe, comment, and you are welcome to join the community. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.